Hello folks. Well, I've got the door over, the cover. Sorry, the cover over the door. And, well, tell you what, let's start again. Welcome to part 2 of the Polytunnel build. I've put the cover over the door and we've got some Velcro down one side, which got me confused a bit, but I suspect it actually tapes to the actual cover, what we're going to put over next. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. Now what I've started to do is put your anti-hot tape. I'm hoping you can see me. I'm going to have to turn the screen round, but anyway, I've put the anti-hot tape, started to put it around the arches. This is very important if you want your tunnel to get as long as possible, the cover to get as long as possible out of its use before it wears. Because if you don't put this on, then what happens is when the sun comes out and it heats up, the actual heat of the metal will actually melt the plastic given time. It won't be like overnight, but over time it will degrade it and you'll start getting tears and holes in it. And so basically you put this anti-hot tape so it acts as a cushion and keeps the heat away from the cover to the bar. And where I tend to put this is on the 4 arches, so it goes straight over the middle. Now I made a boo-boo and I forgot to order some more. I've only got 2 rolls left, but this arch used about a half a roll, just over half a roll. So I know that I'm going to have enough for the 3 arches. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough just to put a bit over the top as well. And that's all we need. You won't need any on the side here, I don't think, because normally it's a bit floppy, so it's not always pressing. But it's the key points, what you need to protect. Okay, I'm coming around now to get the screen right. Right. So that's it, folks. It's you can see that I suppose it's about an 1/8 of an inch thick. It's probably about 3mm. So I'm going to start now. Now, I apologise, you might see my back showing it sometimes when I'm doing some gymnastic movements. You just have to put up with that. Now before I actually put this on, I did wipe these bars down with some dry cloth. I gave it several rubs because it's covered in a fine, I don't know what you got, a greasy film. You must, if you've used posts and you've used ties like I have, then this must go over the ties, because otherwise when the tunnel gets shaken around, where those ties are, it's going to rub onto the cover and it's going to cause holes. We haven't got as much as I anticipated left, so I'm going to do the far one first. I don't know whether you can see me. Let me move it around a little. Okay, the good news is that we've got enough for the 4 arches. Bad news is we might not have enough to go over the whole of the top of the bar, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. That's all I've got left, folks. Now, I don't think that's going to be enough to go over the whole of the top bar, but our prevailing wind tends to be from that side there, so the wind's going to batter this end first, so I'm going to so that will cause some movement on that end more than on this end, so I'm going to start at that end and hopefully there'll be cover a good amount of it. We had enough, we had about 6 inches over. I'm pleased now that I didn't buy any more bags, any more rolls. It would have cost me, might have cost me an extra 20 quid if I'd have bought another 4. Well, that's the easy part done, folks. Now it comes the hard part. There's actually a little bit of a breeze today, and I've got no one to help me get this cover up. So, if you ever tried to do it on your own before, you'll know what it's like. It's going to be hell. Obviously, I've got to be careful that I've got the chicken wire fence along that edge. There might be some bits of spiky where the wire's broke. I've got to be careful I don't do any tearing, so I'm going to have to work from that side and lift it gradually over. So, I've got to think about it. The cover obviously has got to be on the other side. I've got to stretch the cover out on that side, and then I've got to gradually bring it over, and hopefully I'll be able to do it. First thing I've got to do is find out which end is which. Okay. Right, folks, I think I'm not going to let you let me struggle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work it out, I'm going to get it over, but But what you have to do is you have to get some over at one end, and you have to gradually come over and gradually move it all over, and then just hope there's no sudden gust of wind or it's going to blow it backwards. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay folks, I'm getting a bit nearer. It's still going to be quite a way to get this all in place, but I'm going to fast forward it. If you look on the top here, there's actually two seams, folks. The bar's got to go halfway between those two, so it actually helps a lot, especially when I'm working at this end, because I can figure it out a bit better where it's got to be. This wasn't actually too bad, you know, to put over, and it looks to be quite a. It's going to be quite a tight fit as well. The more I look at this tunnel, you know, folks, I mean, I'm still not happy with the nuts and bolts situation, but everything else, I think it's going to make it into quite a nice taut polytunnel. In fact, I don't think I am going to fast forward it. I don't know. No, I will do it. I think the way to go with this is to actually use the Velcro to get some of it into place, and then you can actually manoeuvre it. Then you can tweak it, whether you've got to twist it slightly. I can see that this needs pulling down slightly. Because by the looks of it, the actual seam runs above the windows, runs parallel with the bars. That one's slightly lower, this one's slightly higher, so it just needs twisting. Now I can see it's about an inch high, an inch out on the top here. It pays to take notice, folks, and to get it all into place. And if you haven't got it in place, it's slightly out, the straps are gonna hit on those studs, those release studs, which means the bars could come apart. So just make sure that you've got it all right. Okay folks, got a slight problem with some of these Velcro straps, they're not long enough. Hello, right, had a few problems. The tunnel's as tight as I can get it, and I cannot get these straps to go around the bottom bar. It's alright on one end, but on the other, no. And it's both the arches and that all line up, everything's lined up, the roof is, you know, it's only fractionally out, and they're still very tight. I can hardly get them on both sides. So I've got is some gaffer tape, and I've just done one, and how I'm going to get around this, I'm going to put the, let me just think about this, I'll put the, yeah, that was it. On the bottom strap, put some tape, some of this gaffer tape, stick it onto the band, and then just come up. I mean, you could have just gone round the bar, but I'm just giving it that extra bit of to keep it taut, that extra bit, and that's what I'm going to do. I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got another 6 that I can't get around. But that should solve the problem. It's quite taut, and I haven't put the I haven't put the bricks and the pegs and stuff around the outside yet, so it will get tighter. But there's definitely a bit of a flaw there. They're just not, they're either in the wrong place or they're not long enough. Okay. Hello folks, I've done it. I've got the tunnel up. I've had a few hiccups. I'm going to take you on a tour in a minute. There's good points and there's bad points. And to be honest with you, I think it's partly down to me why those straps don't fit. I think looking at it, I can see that there's a high spot on the ground. It might only be an inch or inch and a half, but it's I think it's affecting the stretch of the cover over. At least that's what I'm hoping. But if it isn't, if you have this same problem, folks, you'll see how I've got round it. I'm not going to complain or anything, but let me take you on a tour. Okay folks, well the problem was on the right hand side of the tunnel here, I couldn't get the Velcro to touch each other. So what I've done is I've got some gaffer tape, and I've actually I've taped it around those straps, and then I've just followed it around, and then I've just let it stick onto the plastic of the tunnel. What I've also done, I've gone around the other straps and I've actually taped around them so the Velcro keeps its firmness and doesn't come off when there's a lot of knocking around with the wind. Now that could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. I guess we'll find out when we get a lot of wind. Because the Velcro, having the Velcro straps is good in that it gives a bit of play, whereas now it's going to be tight, and you know, it may put some stress onto the stitching of these Velcro straps. So I guess that's something we'll find out over time. So I've gone through them all and added tape, so you can see that they were all okay on that side. Where I've had the problems is the four here and the end. They just won't reach. Now I'm struggling to get the tape. I've got to wait until it dries out a bit so I can get the tape around. It's damp, and as soon as I try putting tape around it, it obviously won't stick when it's wet. So anyway, the tunnel is pretty firm now. It can't really, you know, it's not bad at all. It's really not bad at all. And the door, how the Velcro fits round of the outer cover, of the big cover, it fits lovely on the frame, and they've got some good ideas with the Velcro. So the Velcro from the big tunnel clips, sticks to the actual door, so you've got no air pocket coming in where the hinges are. Can you see, folks? Can you see that stitching, that band where the Velcro comes from? How it there's a slight bend to it. Now the tunnel's tight. Can't do. I don't know whether that's been stitched wrong. Because if we come out, you can see it's spot on. This is all spot on around here. But anyway, that's basically how it is now. Obviously, because the other issue, what could be causing problems, is because the bar doesn't. You've only got the bar at both ends there, and the one at where the door is, and you've got no bars going around the sides. Means that where the arches go into the floor, theoretically they could be pressing into the ground. Now, say you happen to have a stone or a rock on one side, that might be preventing it from going in, whereas on the other side they might be actually pressing in. So that could cause some issue with the cover as well. But anyway, let's go back outside. You can see it's not looking bad at all. Let's take a step back. So what I've got to do is I've got to find some bricks to put all the way around the side, and some at the front here. Now, the door on this is much better than the previous designs. You've actually got two of these, and it actually closes really. Do that up. Pick that up. You've got to have two hands for this, but it's a tight fit, and I can't see it coming loose in the winds. So they've done a good job of that. You know, that's a good design. And you can see that that's all down there. So we've got the guttering, what can be used to collect water on both sides of this tunnel, just like on the big one here. So that's going to be another good thing. So yeah, you know, I'm quite pleased. You can see we've just got to press this Velcro into place. Just make sure it sticks. And that, so the wind and that can't get down this side at all. And then on this side, you've got this probably about a 2.5 inch flap. So there's no air going to get in there either, or rain. So it should be quite dry inside. Yes, you know, I'm quite pleased with it, to be honest. Just, you know, it would have been nice to have had everything to be perfect, but it, you know, that's how the world is, isn't it? It doesn't go that way. So the next thing is I've got to find some bricks. I'm waiting for a chap to come up and see if he's got any spare ones. And then after that, I'm going to start putting the staging in that back into it. Okay, catch you later. Hello again, folks. Just to add this little bit on, I've got the racking back in, and I've got it all sorted along this left-hand edge, and that's all secure. This is very important with one of these, if you're using this staging, to make sure that you've got everything tied down. This is all, if the wind starts blowing around, this isn't going to budge, it's going to stay. And also, you've got to make sure it's away from the edges. So they're all away. This one's maybe a little bit close, but I think it's going to be alright. I'm just making sure that there's no sharp bits, right? The ties, make sure that they're facing inside. That's it. Okay. And on this side, I haven't sorted this yet. I've got to dismantle these, get them so they're 4 high. So I've got to make sure I match them up, because they're not all the same from different manufacturers. And I might not even put them in on that side. I may have them on this side next to these, because I might grow things in buckets along that edge. So I've got to have a think about that, have a sleep on it. But I'm running out of time now for today, so I'm going to have to get going. But I'm quite happy with what I've done. Good afternoon's work. Okay, thanks for watching.